Hi, we're back. I'm Tina Trenner, my friends Larry Harrison and Tony Barney. And we were just talking to Robert Godet, and he is the national coordinator for the Tea Party Patriots, which is a grassroots organization, as we said. And we were talking about the racial incident that happened, or supposedly happened, at the Tea Party gathering in Washington, D.C. this past weekend, people protesting. What were you going to say about that? You had some kind of a thought.
Well, nobody condones racism, and yet we have a situation where many news outlets are reporting that there were racial epithets that were hurled at certain members of Congress, and yet we have no video footage.
I know.
Of who these individuals are.
And there's a camera rolling everywhere. There's a camera rolling everywhere. Am I wrong?
Especially in Washington, D.C.
Oh, please, yeah. Especially at one of those meetings.
Well, and you may think I'm somewhat of a skeptic, but usually if you're going to make an allegation like that, you should have some substantial proof.
Oh, did you hear about the article in the Washington, was it Washington Times? I don't want to, a Washington newspaper, where they wrote out about what a bunch of racists. I mean, they wrote like they had proof that had happened and that it was a Tea Party person.
I have difficulty believing that, because typically if we have a name to tag with the misconduct, they're usually going to tag that person with their own misconduct.
They just are trying to smear the Tea Party people. Tony, they just want to smear all the Tea Party people because the Tea Party people are making sense. And they're such a big movement, and they're saying we can't spend this money because we don't have this money. We have to be fiscally responsible. And they don't want to hear that, and because they have such a good message, that they want to smear them and shut them up.
Well, I don't think it's just against the Tea Party people, as you say. There are a lot of people that are not part of the Tea Party Express or the Tea Party movement that are against the health care bill.
No, I know. But they don't. But they're trying to slow down. You know, Nancy Pelosi, Miss 11%, was out there calling them, you know, AstroTurf. You know, she was like bashing them so bad last summer because of the movement.
But that's racist in and of itself. If you're going to hurl insults that are directed at any certain nationality, as I said earlier, that's not going to be permissible in a civilized society.
Right. I mean, they're trying to demonize insurance companies. You know, they've been singling out
well,
insurance
that's not hard
companies.
to do, Larry.
No, everybody loves to hate insurance companies. I mean, you know, my goodness. And you know, I just want to say that I do not work for an insurance company, never have worked for an insurance company. I work for my clients. My clients are individuals. They're the small employer, large employers. That's who I represent. It's my clients. And I don't represent insurance companies. I represent my clients to insurance companies.
But the Tea Party people, their whole purpose is to stop spending. That's what they're all about. That's all they want to do is stop the insanity.
Well, I think it's important to stop spending on things that are irresponsible. Spending is important when it's responsible things, but I agree with you that spending on irresponsible things and unfunded mandates isn't the way to go.
Wasn't Obama going to go line by line over the budget and get rid of all the waste? Don't you remember? I remember him saying it just like that. I'm going to go over it line by line. And everyone was like, there's a kabillion lines. What's he talking about? He can't do it. Well, he wasn't going to do it, so here we are. But what they're complaining about is the crazy spending, not the things that we naturally have to do, the insanity.
Well, and I don't have a problem with
and printing money.
With taking the unspent TARP money that we know that there are billions and billions that are yet unspent, and shoring up Medicare instead of cutting it under the current administration's health bill.
The real problem is here, they're not addressing what the issues are. The issue is the costs, okay? Responsible people borrow money and they pay it back.
Right. China. Let's send it to China. Get them out of our life.
Well, no, right now we need to borrow money from China. I mean, they're
That's
the ones carrying our notes, right? But is that responsible? That's the issue. The problem, again, is the costs of health care. Let's address where the costs of healthcare are out of control. And is it pharmaceutical companies, hey, you know what, we're doing lots of research in this country, and I don't know of any other country that's doing anywhere near the type of research that we're doing.
But look at the television. You turn on TV and it'll say if you took this, and your
Okay, now there's
face
a
is
cost.
twitching and you're doing this and you're doing that and you died, then you've got a lawsuit. Give me a call.
We did not.
Lawyers.
We did not grow up with pharmaceuticals on TV. Maybe some of you out there did, but this started like 1992.
Exactly.
It seems as though they've been there forever,
Oh,
but
it's
they have
awful.
not been there forever. So if we were to take out some of that, the costs and the profits in pharmaceuticals is outrageous.
And he already made a deal with them. They got in there and they're taken care of.
And Larry, did the insurance companies do enough to prevent this bill? I look at the bill, and yes, there is no public option per se, and yet we have a public mandate to buy insurance from the insurance companies. So really, haven't the Democrats mandated insurance to be purchased from the insurance companies?
Not necessarily, because they've been talking about the public option, which is a government plan. That takes the insurance companies out of the formula. Somebody still has to adjudicate the claims. That's one of those technical terms. But we have medical costs, and then somebody has to figure out what type of abuses there were. And the insurance companies are the ones that try to do that. So often it's very easy for a hospital or a doctor's group to be able to massage some numbers around. But it's those actuaries that sit there and go through this. So there's lots of fraud, lots of abuse. And if we could get the IRS to focus on the fraud and abuse, this would help drive the
They
costs
are
of
the fraud and
medical
abuse.
care down tremendously.
Larry, let's face it. You're going to have the insurance police show up at your house and they're going to take you to the insurance judge and you're going to go to insurance jail. Let's face it. Some people are going to. Some people aren't going to do this.
Some people
I
go
can't
to the grave.
imagine anyone not complying with it. But I almost say we'll be right back.